Morning. Got myself the most important crafting tool, a cup of coffee. And I'll be making my third headband for the gift I'm sending to my granddaughter. I did one more, it's got a Thanksgiving colors, one that's got some Christmas colors. Today I'm going to be doing one that'll be more spring-like. Starting out with you're going to need a headband, of course. The EVA foam, which is I'm making my flowers out of. Today I'm using white, but I am going to be painting them with my spray. We will be airbrushing them a little more, a little later after I get them built up with a more purpley hues on them. So that's coming up. I happen to have a spray, what do you call an airbrush, and do enjoy using it. You can also use oil pastel crayons to before you glue it up. This is the brand I have, and they work real well. They were making the colors go, but I like the look of the spray gun. So we'll be starting with white and using scrap green to make the leaves to go with it. So let's jump in and start making our flower buds. My headband's going to need, I don't know if we're going to need this or not. I'm going to need eight flower buds. I'll be making them a carnation shape. I'll be needing 3 petal parts. We're going to have 1.5, 1/8, 3/4. The sizes are all approximate. There's no need to be exact here. I will cut out with the pinking shears, which add a realistic texture. Adjust the compass for number 2, 9/16, so you end up with a 1 1/8 inch circle. Then the tiny one, compass to 3/8 inch for a 3/4 inch size we want. I now have my 3 petal layers. And I'm going to cut it out with the pinking shears. And I usually try and cut inside the line so that when all said and done, there's no pen mark on my petal. The largest one. The medium one.
Yes.
And okay, so I've cut out my 3 levels of petal shapes, and I'm going to cut into each one with the other scissors about a third of the way, 2/3 of the way in. And so the I'm leaving
December 15th.
I'm leaving a spot in the middle to glue, and the petals around it to flap around and to help it look naturally more like the carnation. And even though, I mean, the beauty of all of this stuff is it's not, you don't have to be super precise. In fact, I would not call this a circle in any other situation, but it works perfectly for here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cut the things in there, and now it's time to heat these up and form them.
Okay. Right.
And as you can see, it starts to bubble up, not bubble, you know, it kind of melts and starts to tighten up on the one side. The side that's getting heated relaxes, and the other side is tighter, so it makes it give that curve situation. And once you do it both on both sides a couple times, it's plenty of warm to come through and pinch up each of the petals, pinching the whole thing together. And hold it for a few seconds till it cools. These are little, so it's kind of hard to see for you, but that's the outside ring. Here's the middle ring.
Okay.
Get it nice and warm. Bring it all in and pinch it in until it's cool and it holds its shape. And now we'll go to the little baby one. I love these long ones. That fit into this little glue gun. They last a really long time and make life easier. You're not changing them out every 10 minutes when you're doing a lot of projects. So, but anyways, here we go. And here with the hot glue gun, this is where the professionalism, I would say, comes in. If you can control the amount you put in there, so that you're not over gluing and
No.
causing lots of stringy things. That's what the things I hate about most of the projects that don't turn out, is they got all the glue everywhere. And it's taken me a while to get used to working with. Woohoo. Like there, my finger just got on it. Luckily not a lot. And you can see one is done. Let me get into the light. There you go.
Okay.
One is done. I'm going to go now off camera and make the other 7, and then get ready to show you how I airbrush the color on, because that'll be next. Oh, also I'll be cutting the leaves for this. This is the green is a nice accent down there. So, anyways, I will be right back in a few. Alright, formed all of the layers of petals, and now the largest one gets spread open a little bit. It'll jump back in, but that'll give us a nice base to glue. Tab of glue. The middle one opened up a little bit. Try and position the petals so that the cut area overlaps the solid area from the one in front of it. Another little dab of glue, and you'll discover the sweet spot between the warming the foam up, not to go a little too far, because you don't want it to stick to each other. For the greenery on this, I cut myself out circles that were a little larger than the original circle that I cut out, and then I'm cutting into these wacky star shapes, and each one of them looks a little different, but that's okay. They're just to give some color and make it look more real underneath the carnation that we've made. And I'm on number 5 right now, and after when I go to glue them together, I'll give it a little form and shape. So let me continue on here, and when next we meet, we will be putting color on the white flowers. Thought I'd show you before I go to the airbrushing. If you're going to put the color on and you're going to use the crayon method, you really should. Here's a more purpley one. There's several methods you could do. The finger works well. A piece of paper towel, or one of those rough sponges that you use for that you put on the end of those paint brushes that are, here we go, purple. Anything that's got a little texture to it that'll help spread it out. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can zoom in telephoto. Okay. Okay, so with the crayon, I'm just going to go a little bit around the outside of each edge. So that's what you're left with. And then I'm taking my finger and I'm just blending, because these are oil pastel crayons. They blend nicely. Regular crayons won't work like this. And that's just with my finger. So then do the other side. Okay, now that I've got a nice little pastel-y looking effort on there, I'm going to put it on the iron. Push it up, and then your petal would have the pastel color you're going to go for. That's just to give you an idea of what you can do with the crayon. I'm using an airbrush, but I'm really not an airbrush artist. It's kind of a tool to apply some paint in these decorating situations. Like, you really can't draw with it. But for these carnations, I chose a plum that I got from Walmart. This tube was 50 cents this week, November of 2020, and I thinned it out, got it into my airbrush gun here, and I'm going to just lightly add some color to the whole thing. I pinned them on there so they don't blow around on me. I'm going to go along the edges, the bottom. Trying to add just a subtle purpleness to it. A little heavier than I wanted it to be, but whoop. But anyways, that's the color I was going for on here. There's still a lot of white showing, and that's just perfect. And that's all that took. That took seconds. Took more time to mix the paint up to clean the gun out. Clean the gun out afterwards than it was. I'll save that little bit. It'll last for a day or two. And clean this up, and then we'll get back to assembling the rest of the headband. thanks for keeping watching. Also, if you have any questions about this, I'll do my best to answer anything you have, so please leave a comment. If you subscribe, great. If you click on notify, I don't do too many videos, so I'm really not out promoting that. But I do love comments and questions, so feel free to add something to that. Thanks. We got ready to start assembling. So I'm going to put a little dot of glue on the. All right, so now there's eight. So since there's 8 of them, I can't just start in the center. I got to put one on either side. So put a dab of glue, little off center. Take the most purple flower, put it on there and hold it down. And then a little dab of glue to the other side of it. Grab another flower, push them together because I want these nice and tight. So you can see. Alright, then other side. And, hot. And another one on this side. Just needs a little glue more on this side over here. And then going left, right, left, right, left, right. And move it over here. Press them down. Make sure the glue sets nicely. Get rid of the extra. Oops. Here we go. And then lastly, the last one. And so it's fairly balanced on both sides. I just go find some young lady to put this on her head. Take a picture to add to the video here at the end. After I let all the hot glue get nice and solid. Won't take too long. Trim out all the little fiber hairs out of here. Because as always, I get too many of them in there. But other than that, this project is done. Getting quite a set for the year to take her through all the seasons. Boom, 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 boom. If you got a request for a different kind of flower or an idea for me to use, please leave a comment. I'm more interested in comments than I am in subscribers. I don't mind subscribers; those are cool. And but thanks for watching. please leave me a question. Let me know what you think.